I think they can see and hear us. Let's wait for confirmation on my screen. Yes. Hopefully hearing. I'll hear back from Conlon in a few seconds, whether we can or not. But
5,
hello.
4,
3, 2.
2.
Hello, everyone. Hey, this is Nat Disaster. Oh my god, I fucking love that shit. Already distracted. Hello,
There's
everyone.
only 2 of us, too. Oh my god.
And we just shoot the shit. Hello, everyone. This is Nat Disaster coming at you unexpectedly on a Friday for the second super secret sexy solo session of the Heist campaign, but the third one of all time, the second one with Vicky. But yeah, we just gotta resolve a little thing before going into this Sunday session, as Andy's gonna be off on a little mini adventure of his own once more. But and as always, Mr. Tech Paladin needs to be in every single stream, so there he was right there. But hello, I'm Brian Creevy. I am the Disaster Master here. Coming here to
Didn't show up at all.
What? Oh, you're doing the audio levels? Sorry. I may have started the stream, but he's still managing it.
I do need Vicky to talk, though. I need to
Vicky.
check her.
Hi,
May
I'm
you
right
speak?
here. I'm speaking.
Did
I am
that work?
talking.
It takes me a
As-
second. I'm using my other headphones.
But,
So-
yep. That was a good introduction there. So, me and Vicky, there's Vicky right there.
Hi, Vicky. I don't think that I am speaking is usually how I
A little bit
introduce
more.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, okay, I'm Vicky. I play Andy. He's a Tabaxi monk rogue, and he is anxious and in a weird mood.
Yeah, we have a very interesting, super secret sexy solo session going on here, so it's going to be interesting to see what actually occurs. How's our audio levels, Conlon? You're looking like you're thinking very intently on how our audio's going. So I'm going to keep on talking to give you this clear,
You're
fluid
pretty good.
audio.
I turned it up a little bit more.
Vicky, why don't you talk to give Conlon an example of how
Oh
you
yeah,
are?
this is really good content. The viewers are gonna love this. We should cut this out of the YouTube video.
This is just like all of our freaking podcasts. Every single podcast, we're like, okay, see, audio is our biggest fucking like
Weird.
challenge.
Hard. Audio
Yeah.
is hard.
If anybody watches our podcast, God, audio is always fucking terrible. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But
to
yeah.
anyone who watches our podcast, sorry.
Hey, but yeah, I know it's a little bit late, but just showing one of my personal Christmas cards. Merry Critmas to everybody. So really, it's more like Crit New Year's or something at this point. Welcome to 2021, everybody. Oh my God, I almost said 2020 again. Flashbacks.
No. No groundhog here. No groundhog here.
Just get to the point. Hey, it's December 31st, 2020
I saw a
again.
video online that was like, do a D&D session where it's Groundhog Day, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds so fucking fun.
Maybe a one-shot we'll do in the future. Stick tuned and subscribe and follow for more content. But yeah, one thing I just wanted to show, and I knew you would excite you, Vicky, before we get into the stream, is one thing I got for Christmas. I got Fex Machina Origins! Got the whole thing. So I personally...
Beautiful.
I joined Critical Role in Campaign 2, so I've been catching up on Campaign 1, and hearing all their origins is a really cool thing, so I'm excited for all of that.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
We love Fox Machina up in this house.
Oh, yes. And also the Mighty Nine. Gotta love the Mighty
Yeah,
Nine.
of course.
But, yeah. This is just another one of those short, super sexy solo sessions, so there's not much of anything for announcements. All I can say is, as usual, if you are here, please follow us on Twitch. We're at 40 Twitch followers now. We need 10 more followers to get to Twitch affiliate.
Thanks for following, guys.
Most of those people are people that are friends and relatives of mine that I have begged them, please give me a fucking fight. Hey, for those of you who I didn't have to beg for a view or for a follow, thank you so much, and please beg all of your friends.
Thank you for following. If
Yes.
you're watching this.
We need 10 more to get to affiliate, so we appreciate it. Once that happens, we can start getting more promoted and have our content be a little bit more exposed for all you viewers out there. But also subscribe on our YouTube channel. That number has dwindled a little bit because we've been focusing on the Twitch affiliate, but please subscribe to there as well. But without further ado,
Mhm.
let's let this super secret, sexy solo session number 3
I
unfold.
swear you say those words in a different order every time.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual order is at this point,
Me
but
neither.
they're all in there somewhere.
It's just session.
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 But previously on Andy's escapades, so last time on the super secret sexy solo session for Andy, Andy had followed a baby bone naga that he had summoned out of a snake-shaped hourglass. Followed him down to this burnt building that led to an old abandoned and burnt down docks, where ran into 2 familiar faces, Jazzful Cladora, and then Static, the tabaxi that Andy had fought previously.
Is
After
Static's last name Shock?
you don't know.
For
You'll have to find
trademark
out.
reasons. No.
Yeah, I can't copy. Yeah, it's copyrighted.
Sorry,
But having some interesting conversations with them, both learning a little bit about their previous history, what they're doing, what that place was, and also unveiling some new mysteries about his new friend Zolo, the baby bone knocker. After spending some time there with those two in company, and finding a little bit of peace and calm after the previous night's stress and adventures, the other two left. Andy stayed a little bit longer with Zolo until Zolo went up and turned into sand and just started covering Andy's body as a form of camouflage for itself. Andy returned, found Rain waking up in fright, almost, well, not really a fright, more of anger fit of rage. The two of them went to meet up with the rest of the Lucky Cinq to talk about the day's adventures, went and gave their statements for the events that happened the following night at the armory, and then all in different, all not together, you guys left to try not be shady or conspicuous.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just can't grab the words. I'm good at words, but I try to grab them and they're just like, no, come back.
Words are hard.
They are. You guys left. Her friend Wind Whisper, who is recently relabeled himself as Seabreeze, snuck up and scared you. And then all of you guys reconvened in an alleyway to play a game of Skulls for some loot, and then separate on their way as the rest of the Lucky Cinq head over to Otto's. Andy, you head out in another direction, on a way with a different goal, with a promised lunch date, not date, friend date thing with your previous ex Learor Ersatz from the Blessed Feet tribe. As you see your companions walk off in a different direction down the opposite side of the alley, you head off in your own direction. You're currently in Inner North Row, and you head over back towards Nature's direction to try to get to over to Nature's Call, the chosen location for your lunch date thing. So
I'll just straight up sprint because I think Andy has a lot of pent up energy right now, and as long as it's not frowned upon to run through Zista, I'll just run.
So I'm picturing you like those early Naruto games where you're just running through this open city.
I want to make it look like I'm on a morning jog kind of thing, like I'm an athlete.
Okay. And with your speed, you are dashing through the streets. At times, there are guards walking by, but nobody really seems to pay attention. You almost blend in with the crowd in some sense. You can see some people at times running away, some people carrying carts running through the streets on the cobblestone, other people off in their houses over their balconies. You pass by the path that overlooks suspended superiority where you just were previously, with a lot of the guard presence over there starting to heighten up as it's getting towards midday. You pass through, getting over towards Nature's direction. Do you go straight towards Nature's Call? Do you are close to your monastery? Are you going there for any reason?
I look up at the sun. Is it midday? Is it
Because you
Am I
ran,
stop anytime?
you shaved off some time. If you go straight for Nature's Call, you'll probably be there by like 11, roughly quarter of 12, instead of the like 12 to 12 after, somewhere around there, you guess.
Okay. Ooh. He's like playing around in his head. Do I risk it and go to Cawson for like 15 minutes, or do I just do that after? Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna like duck into an alleyway,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say solo.
And as you roll a stealth check, as you are like hiding, trying to be secretive right now.
Yeah. Natural 20 for a total of 31.
Vicky, that is your first roll of 2021, and it's a
I
natural
know.
20. Did you see what I posted earlier where it was like, oh, first roll of nat 20 of the year. This is going to be good luck for this year.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to have good luck in D&D this year, Vicky.
I hope so.
31.
Really hope so.
You duck into an alley, and you do find a section where, strangely, there's not a single person down this alley. It's almost silent. You can see some ravens up in the like the steel rafters of one of the buildings. Then they look down at you, call a little bit, and some of them fly around, fly down, grab some dead. It looks like an animal on the end of the alleyway, but there's no people.
Okay, I go.
And you see almost like comes out off your shoulder, like the sand comes up and forms a little bit of bone on your shoulder, and just looks at you and goes, "So?"
Okay, so listen. We're gonna get lunch.
Zolo.
Do you need to eat?
Zolo.
No? Okay. Good to know. Okay. I didn't know if bones. Wait, you don't have Okay, anyway. We're gonna get lunch. But you need to I noticed that when you get a little excited, you do talk a little bit. You need to try to keep it most of the time, okay?
Shara?
Yeah, Shara, like quiet. Shh.
Shara.
Yeah, sure. I think you get it. Do
Zolo?
I think he gets it?
Roll an insight check.
You got it. I'm gonna use that same die, because wow. Ooh, that's a 22.
There you go. It looks like he got the idea that you kind of want him to stay like hidden-ish. He's gotten the idea that there's and also you also get the impression with that 22, like he every once in a while it kind of seems like his head cocks like beyond you and looks at the alleyway. It almost in a sense where like it looks like he's kind of confused with the amount of, almost maybe even nervous with the amount of people that seem to be just like all around.
Aw, I'll be like, also, don't worry, I'll protect you. No one's gonna hurt you.
Zoro.
Yeah, just stay hidden. Everything will be fine. I'm big and strong, right?
And he looks down and he's like, Zo.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
You having conversations with things that can never speak back to you is one of the best moments of my DM experience.
It's every character has an animal companion that can't talk but can somehow understand me.
In a way, yeah. Ginger was a little bit harder, but
Ginger was a little harder, yeah.
okay. So
Okay,
Zolo
I'll head
fades back into your skin. Or into your fur.
I'll get us a nice table. Since I'm there a little early, I'll try to scope out a good table.
Okay. So you head over towards Nature's Call. And the first thing you do notice is the trees on the outside of Nature's Call that make up like the entryway. There seem to be some weird spores that seem to be like coming off of in certain sections. Nothing's coming out of them, but there are some like mushrooms that are growing out of some of the trees. People are still walking in as normal. Kind of they look at it as they walk by, but don't pay too much mind to it.
Like native mushrooms? Do they like, are these types of mushrooms that I've seen before?
Roll a nature check.
You got it.
First nature check, I think, of the heist
Yeah.
campaign. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no. There's the one in the eyeball.
Oh, that's bad. 3.
3. Honestly, living in the city, you really haven't seen mushrooms before, other than when food was left out to rot and then things started growing on it.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of shrug my head in.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just like, weird mushrooms.
Yeah, it's not something you've necessarily seen before, but also you kind of really don't understand how mushrooms work. So,
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
all right. So you walk inside, and it seems like it's a pretty busy day, actually. You look at contrast to how you were in here last night with rain, where there's no one. Most of the tables seem to be pretty full. There seems to be almost a full bar. And there's some places around. You can see some of the satyrs and the nymphs just running around, just like not aimlessly, but with a purpose. They all seem very focused on their work. Some nymphs are just going through the trees and then coming out, delivering something, coming right back. It's pretty hectic after lunch afternoon.
Yeah. I get. Is there like it? I feel like we've gone over this before. It is generally just like pick your own seat kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of tables that are pick your own seat, as well as with the bar as well.
Okay, do I see a table that's like not particularly close to anybody, like kind of like, just kind of like a little more private?
Roll a perception check.
You got it. 8.
And there's the balance. 31, 22. And then it starts falling from there.
Yeah,
but
3, 8.
But honestly, right now, for the most part, you kind of see all the tables kind of full. Maybe there's like smaller ones in the corners, but you don't see. But what you do see is at the bar, there is a familiar halfling who's sitting at the bar, kind of almost a little bit hunched over, with his hand on his head. You can see like some shirt merch with a Blessed Feet Blaze emblem on it, with the crossbows with Leoror and Leighton written on it. You can see an eagle up in one of the branches nearby, who keeps on flying down a little bit every once in a while. The guy throws up a piece of meat and grabs it, and you can just hear, "Hey, Ami, I get another one. The Blessed Feet Bliss, please."
Oh God. Can I make an insight check? Is that Leoror or Phaeton?
Roll an insight check.
I forget which one has the wolf. I have it in my notes, but I forget which one has the eagle and which one has the wolf. That's a 9.
Even with that 9, it's not hard to tell that this, especially from your knowledge of the two, Leoror is the one who has the eagle. This does appear to be Leoror. It's acting a little bit weird, but
okay.
Amia. Okay.
I'll try not to be too quiet. As I walk up, I guess.
There is one seat that seems to be open next to him on the bar.
Yeah, I'll try not to startle him, so I'll deliberately make some footstep noises as I come up. Yeah, I don't want to scare him.
Omnia comes over and pours another shot glass in front of him and be like, "It's only noon. Are you gonna keep on drinking like that all day?" And he's just like, "Not all day. I'm having somebody." Hey Andy. And you see him he kind of like, hey.
Hi.
Hey,
you all right?
Yeah. It's good to see you. You look nice.
Thanks. You do too. I kind of give what's her name? I have her name. One moment. I definitely have her name. Somewhere in here. It's gonna take too long. The Rainforest Call Lady. Amia.
Mm-hmm.
Amia. I give her kind of like a look.
She looks back at you, kind of just like, kind of like a raised eyebrow, kind of walk around and look.
Okay.
And he's just like, sorry, I didn't expect you to be here so soon. And almost you see for a second, it's like he does this kind of motion, like he's kind of like wiping away a tear a little bit. And he's like, sorry. He like slaps himself on the cheeks for a second. Okay, sorry. Here, let's catch up a little bit. Here, sit down, sit down.
I'll sit. I say it's fine. I'm sorry if I startled you. I just didn't want to be late. And I like sit.
No, I know. I didn't know you were gonna be here right at time. I thought I would have a little bit more time to myself, but it's fine. I've been looking forward to seeing you before I'm off in a few days.
Yeah, yeah.
So what have you been up to?
Do you want the long answer or the like short answer?
He takes that shot that was on the table and just takes it back real quick. And he's like, long one. I'm here for stories right now. Anything.
Alright.
Just tell me a tale.
Sure. Can I try to see if I can tell how many drinks he's had?
Insight check.
Yeah. Ooh, 21.
21. You look at him, and
Mhm.
he does look like he is a little bit drunk.
Yeah.
Not like plastered, but he's drunk.
Okay.
And you look on the across the line as Omnia's grabbing some, and she took at least like 5 shot glasses off the table. At least.
Do I remember him to be a particularly like heavyweight, or is he more of a lightweight? And
He's
do
more-
I remember him ever drinking this much in the middle of the day? Is another question.
He's more of a midweight, not particularly heavy. Not like for a halfling, he can take a little bit more than what you'd expect, but he honestly isn't too much. You've never seen him drink during the day before.
Okay. Okay. So yeah.
Vicky's plans in her head suddenly change. Okay, all right, what we doing here?
Yeah, sure. I'll launch into the stories, I guess.
And right, he's like, Omnia, can you bring us over some food? I'll have, oh, I haven't had wolf in a while. Did you have any shipments from the Blessed Feet recently? And she's just like, I can probably find something. Andy,
I did specifically ask her to keep some stuff fresh last night.
She did keep some stuff. She got to think of whether there's Blessed Feet stuff fresh. But she looks over at you, Andy, and she's like, anything? The same stuff you asked for, right?
I'll just have like a sandwich or something. Some fries would be good.
I can get a little, not as good as Fry Queen, but I can get you a little bit.
I always liked yours better.
Thank you. You're always so kind. She walks away into the back, and she shouts a few instructions over as some people are getting rowdy in the corner, almost like a threat. Like, hey, I will kick you out of here right now. This is way too much. 12 o'clock, really? And she like hits the counter a little bit. Somebody's drink falls over a little bit, and they were like, ooh. You were saying with a story?
Yeah. Now I gotta make sure you're not gonna go telling any guards about this, okay?
And she's like, and he like leans in and whispers, but like drunk whispers. It's a little bit louder than anything. He's just like, I know how to keep a secret. Like, we go down in the.
Yeah. Okay.
You look around and nobody seemed to pay attention. Roll a perception check.
Got it. Ah, man. I did not expect to be sober babysitting my ex-boyfriend today. As a 13.
13. There do appear to be one table of guards over in the back, but it looks like they're cleaning up right now.
And far away.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll kind of lower my voice and I'll be like, well, you know that attack at the eyeball last night.
Oh, kind of Jose's like, yeah, I did hear a little bit about that. Something about. He's like, thinks for a second. He's like, I believe they said there was an Arakakra that tried to attack the queen, and they think it's something related.
Oh. I'm gonna write that down. Okay. Eyeball.
And he scribbles on his paw.
This is for Vicky. Andy can't read or write.
Andy starts scribbling on his paw, and then, wait, I can't write.
Yeah. It wasn't strictly an attack, really.
He like squints his eyes a little bit, and it does look like he has a little pint of ale as well, and takes a sip. He's just like, what?
It was like a mission that got kind of out of hand.
Thanks for saying. He's like, oh.
But like, we didn't hurt anybody, I swear.
I mean, I didn't hear too much about it. And that's,
yeah.
What were you doing?
I have this Kenku friend. He has a lot of trouble. He's a good guy, but he's kind of chaotic.
I think he puts his hand on his and you can hear from above him, you can hear his eagle kind of like give a little like click of its like jaw a little bit, like it's funky. He's like, oh, he throws another piece up and it comes down and grabs a little bit of, it looks like almost squirrel meat that he does have on there, and he's like, wind whisper, right?
Yeah.
Interesting little colorful guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude, but he's not used to the city, so he gets into some weird situations. I think most of the weird situations I've been in lately have been from him.
Like what kind of things has he gotten you into? Some of your old day things that you used to tell me about?
A little bit more strange. We fought these like water creatures and like sharks. I punched a shark in the face.
Well, that's something I haven't done before. So.
It's fun. You should try it.
Water things? He's just like,
Yeah, water things.
You talking about water elementals? You talking about water elementals?
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, yeah, we've fought a few before in the ring down, me and Faye. Fayeton, yeah.
Yeah,
takes another sip afterwards. Spills a little on his shirt, much like I did right there, because why not?
I'll grab like a bar napkin and pass it to him.
He's like, thank you. Sorry, I had a long night, but your stories are fantastic. What else are you into?
Well, I also fought a like storm last night at the monastery. You hear about those storms crashing down?
I mean, I didn't hear anything about, but the weather was wild last night.
Yeah. I think maybe there's other elementals around. At least I mean, that's what I would assume it is.
Around, like walking in the streets with us?
I mean, I don't think they're like undercover. But yeah, one was at the monastery. Kassan and I fought it.
Huh.
Knocked out Janora.
There's really weird stories all over.
Yeah, weird shit's happening.
Yeah. He rubs his face. He's just like, I just hope I don't get caught up in the middle of some of it. But I feel like I might.
Why do you say that?
It's like, can, can you keep a secret?
Most of the time.
He looks around, and there are two people on the bar next to him. One next to him kind of like gives him a weird like eye for a second, and he just goes, shh. And the guy picks up his drink and walks away.
Yeah.
It's like, in later, Phaeton and I received a letter from our father. We're not just going back to see how everyone's doing anymore. There's apparently an attack on our tribe.
Shit, is everyone okay?
For the most part, I mean, there were some injuries. I don't know if anyone died. I don't know too much. My father was really vague in the letter. All he told me is that is a big portion of the eastern woods burnt down, and there was something that was attacking. He didn't want to get too close in the details. He's like, some younger ranger who was always around. Her name is Knock. She's apparently delivering the news for something here soon. He said Knock's coming to tell the queen exactly what happened. I don't know everything.
It's weird that your dad wouldn't tell you what's happening.
I know, and he did let me know my little sister back home.
Yeah.
Feyror's off with... Yeah. You remembered. He, like, smiles for a second.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
But, yeah, Feyror is apparently taking on a big mission. There's some giants that are coming from the Blood Ashen Peaks, and she's traveling with two half-elves to try to steer them back. It just seems like a lot of weird stuff's going on, and...
She's a little young to be doing that, isn't she?
I mean, he's like, she's a good one. She knows what she's doing. I don't know what's happening at the tribe that made her take on this mission, but my father's always had big expectations for all of us.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'm not just going back to visit anymore, Andy. I'm kind of going back to stay. My father is telling us to come back, stop doing our fights here, and he needs to train both of us for one of us to be the chieftain one day. So,
oh, is that what you want?
I don't know.
Is that what Phaeton wants?
It's like Phaeton has always been more like dad than myself or Feyror. I feel like he wants to, but my father doesn't want to just give it to him. He wants me to try. I don't know. I liked what I was doing here. I don't really feel like giving that up yet, but I don't know if I have a choice.
I mean, you're a grown man. What's he gonna do?
We all have responsibilities, Andy, and this is my tribe. You don't know
I
what it's like back there. It's different than the city. Vastly, and he laughed. I say he's like vastly different. And
I
last
mean,
night,
it's not my place to tell you what to do. But
last night after we got the letter, I don't know. Fate. I can't tell what Fate wants. Whether he is excited to go back or if he's just as torn up as me. But we had a fight last night in the. Shut your sister. Like on the table for a second. He's like, and he cracked his neck. He's like, I got beaten pretty bad. We were totally out of sync, and he got mad and stormed off at me. Sorry, I don't mean to lay all this on you. He kind of like wipes his eyes once more. He's just like, I'm normally much better at holding myself together, but last night was a lot.
you don't have to. I'm fine.
But, I mean, it could be good. I haven't seen the people in a while, and apparently my father says we're starting to fortify the place more. It seems like the Shade Shower Forest is getting more dangerous. He said something about building some palisades and guard towers around the tribe. So I gotta help protect my people.
If that's what you feel like you've got to do, yeah.
Yeah. I'll miss fighting, but I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of the remaining merch that I have here, but hasn't really been successful.
What have you got left?
He turns over to his side. You do see there are several like commoners' clothes that do kind of like have patches of their symbol, which reminder for all the people who may be new and don't remember. For that, where the frick is it? It is. It has the Blessed Feet tribe symbol, which seems to be the left half seems to be the left half of a foot seems to be part of a tree whose branches stretch over the toes of the actual foot itself, but the actual Blessed Feet blaze for the brothers, Birch, seems to have two arrows that go across it that do have Phaeton and Leyror written on it, and these ones specifically say the Blessed Feet blaze on the bottom of the patch. You can see he does have a bow and some other daggers there as well with the merch. He's just like, hey, if I don't get rid of it now, it's not going to have much value, but I'm trying to just see how much gold I can get before heading out of the city.
Take a shirt? Why not?
You want to take one with the patch? Or what color?
What colors you got? Take a look.
And there's like a auburn-esque red. This seems to be almost like a daffodil yellow kind of shirt. They do have a green that, honestly, in the city, you really haven't seen a green like this before. It's the most you could probably guess is it's probably more like in tune with nature kind of green. And there also is a bark brown one as well. It's like, I don't have the best colors left, but this is what I got.
I'll take the green.
Thanks. And he pulls one out. He's just like, you can, for you can have it, Andy.
Are you sure?
I mean,
I don't want to put you out of business.
I mean, the business is going to be out pretty soon. He laughs with you for a second. He's just like, and at this time, Omnia comes over with both of your foods, and he's just like, okay, thank you, Omnia, this will probably help. And she's like, yeah, and you're not having any more drinks today. And he's like, I'm think this is enough. I kind of pushes the ale mug over to her.
Hmm.
And you have your meal as well that comes out.
Yeah.
He starts eating a little bit of it, and she's like, "So, how's everything going at the monastery? I know that's a big part of your life now."
Yeah. I mean, Cassan's always good. They've been a little busy lately, but so I've been alone a lot, but
Something else going on?
I don't want to pry, so I don't really ask, but yeah, it seems like
Everybody's dealing with their own stuff. I mean, I heard even the Church of the Awakened Few just had something happen the other day. I don't know too much of the details, but the city's pretty weird right now. I mean, maybe it's a good time for me to head out. I have
Yeah.
one more fight tonight, so I hope Peyton's not mad at me. I hope we can still do it, but
I'm sure you guys will work it out.
yeah, we always do. Um, so your friends that you were with yesterday, are you? Was that just you guys planning to make a team comeback down in the?
I don't know about the rest of them, but I'd like to be down there more often.
Yeah.
I kind of missed it. Yeah.
If it wasn't bad timing, maybe we could have actually fought together sometime.
Hey, I mean, if you ever come back, I'll be here.
And he's like, you never got really too detailed on that, but are you like allowed to leave at all?
Hey, I don't really know. I've never really asked.
I never really looked too close into the monastery. I know that they bring people back and then they train there, but I don't really know too much about how everything works there, the politics of it all.
Yeah,
I don't even know if
I don't
Andy knows
really
the
get
word
into
politics.
I don't know. I'll roll. 15. He does.
Okay.
It was a 12 total, but I mean that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't I don't really get involved in that kind of thing either. I don't know. I mean, I know my parents must have made some kind of agreement. I haven't really asked.
Why not? I mean, if and he's like, if what I know is correct, they're the ones who made the decision that you said they have to make a deal. Aren't you curious?
And I trust Carson. I feel like if there was something that I needed to do, I think they would want me to do it. But I mean,
Well, maybe it's
I
something.
trust them to know what's good for me, right?
I mean, parents typically do. I mean, what my father said is that this is for the good of the tribe. So I mean, yeah, parents do know what's best for us, even when we do grow up.
I don't know if never mind.
Nah, what? He kind of like elbows you a little bit.
Well, I mean, what's best for the tribe isn't always what's going to be best for you, is it?
He like
Those are two
it's
different things.
it's like a heavy sigh for a second. It's just like sometimes I guess you have to sacrifice what you want for the people that you care about. I mean, I haven't seen them in a while, but I still love everybody in my tribe. I'm feeling sad that I wasn't there to help any of them, and I do feel obligated almost to go back there and try to help them rebuild since I wasn't there to help defend them. I mean, it seemed like we were in just such an era of peace for a while over there. There wasn't really much other than goblins every once in a while to kill. That doesn't happen here. The goblins here are way different than out in the Shade Shower Forest.
Yeah, goblins are good people.
Not out from the Dark Shade. The Dark Shade, they're really weird. And then you see at the end of the table, there's a goblin who's just sipping a drink and just looks over at you all. He's just like, "Not you. You're great, buddy."
Okay, you don't have to.
And the goblin looks and just like actually kind of gives like a little finger over to you guys.
I just go like over Leoror's head because I'm way taller.
Kind of turns back and just starts eating its meal. Yeah, it's gonna be a big difference. I feel like I almost forgot that lifestyle. Has that ever happened to you? Or, I mean, it must have happened. It must. Yeah, I was about to say, it must have happened to you. You were completely different from what you say before the monastery.
I mean, I don't know about completely different, but I had different values.
But you were always you, though. The same person that you were, right? Like, nothing changed in that regard. I know you were a half elf before, but like, nothing about you changed, right?
Not this time that I've noticed.
I'm gonna see if he's coherent enough to catch the this time.
Yeah.
13 both times. He is. It's gonna take a second though. He'll be like, wait. Wait, did you say this time?
Yeah. You know those like nightmares I used to get?
Yeah, they happen every once in a while. I helped you when you woke up with them, yeah?
Yeah, I kind of feel like they might have been real. Not like now, but a long time ago.
You always said you had like dreams of different people, and you really couldn't tell if you were them or if you were just. It was like, I remember you told me one where it was like you were above them, but you felt like you were part of them at the same time, and some really weird accident happened. I don't remember all the details.
Don't worry, neither do I.
You think those were real?
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe I should talk to Carson about it at some point. I haven't really. Every time I've tried, something crazy has happened.
That's life. And he's like, I mean that seems pretty unique. I mean, you shouldn't ignore a feeling like that. Like, if you feel like there's some truth to them, I mean, maybe there's some like merit to it. Maybe they might know. I mean, what do you guys do over there? You meditate when you try to figure out things like this? Like, is that how you understand it?
Pretty much. Pretty much. It seems like a lot of sitting,
breathing,
and listening.
Anything happen when you meditate recently? Any thoughts about this? And you kind of feel the sand crawl across your fur a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it was really me this time, but he has me practicing this new technique. It's like you like meditate on an object and you like connect with its key.
Future saying, it's just like, wait, what? Like objects?
Yeah, like probably not like this fork, but like
So,
does Leoror have a bow?
Leroy does have his bow on, but beside him on the opposite side of where all the merch is, you can see a pack with his signature bow there.
Yeah, I just kind of touch it for a second, and I'm like, but something like this, something that's been loved and kept for a long time, that leaves a trace, I think.
And wait, objects have key? Like,
Yeah.
he's just like, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit for this, but I'm trying to understand. I mean, it's weird stuff.
If you could talk to an object, if you could ask it who it used to belong to, what it used to be used for, what it means, it's gonna know some of that. It's like an echo. But I'm not very good at it yet. I've just started practicing.
I mean, when that's where training comes into hand.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, training. These things back. He's just like, I mean, it's not gonna be terrible being back there. I remember training out in those woods. I wish I could take you out there sometime. I feel like you'd like the Shade Shower Force. You've never been, right? Oh,
Not that I can remember, no.
well, if you're not bound to the monastery, if you could leave sometime, stop by. I'll show you around. It's a beautiful place. Yeah.
I'll keep it in mind.
Some beautiful sights out there. There's a giant tree that sprouts higher than anything that I've ever seen. I feel like it might even.
You think I could climb it?
With enough time, it might take you a day or two.
Yeah.
It's we typically are told to protect it. It's a big portion of what we do out there in the Blessed Feet tribe. It's apparently yeah. It's apparently where Naira, I believe, is somewhere around there is where Naira came into being. I don't know, the lore always confused me. It was never for my stuff. I was more, and he kind of just picks an arrow out of his pouch and just like kind of like fake aims it with his hand. It's like, phew. He's like, I like the idea of what you just said though about like connecting with items. I don't really understand it, but this used to be, and he picks up the bow. He's like, this used to be my father's bow, and he gifted this to me. Not Phaeton, which he was always jealous of, but he laughs a little bit too. He's just like, maybe, I don't know. There's been decades of memories in this. Do you think I can learn from this if I try to connect with it?
Yeah, I really do.
Well,
you just have to try to listen.
Try to listen. Hey, and she's like, do you smell something weird?
I smell?
You roll a perception check.
You got that. That's an 18.
18. Okay. 1 second. My phone closed, so I have it up on my phone. So, you smell... It smells something like old. It doesn't smell rotting, but it smells almost like a tickle on your nose. And while you're sniffing that, you look around the room, and you can see a bunch of the fungus that are in certain corners, and there's just a little bit of stuff just leaking out of it, and almost all at once just...
I pinch Phaeton, Leroy's nose, and I hold my breath.
Okay. All of the spores in the room just... You can see what looks like, almost like glitter-like spores shoot out of the rooms in a mixture of other things that seem like almost like fluff, little types of white mixing in with all the glitter. There's sections where it's almost little feathers that are coming together, just completely fill the room in orangish white spores, and everybody just all around the room just start coughing out and crying. Leroy's just like, what is...
Do I get his nose in time?
You did have his nose in time. And the whole room is filled with this. Despite not breathing in, there are some sections where it can get that doesn't need to be breathing. Andy, I need you and Leroy to roll Constitution saving throws, and you can do so with it. Zolo doesn't have to.
Cool.
You...
Constitution?
And you can roll with advantage.
Yeah, I can. Cool.
Oh, you said before the session, I wonder when this will come.
Yeah. It's so funny how that works. Oh, that's good.
Let me see really quickly.
That's a 19.
Okay. Do it 2 more times too.
Okay. Take the higher?
Yes, because you have advantage.
Okay, that's a 15, and then one more time as well?
Yes.
Okay. That's a 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
So as everything's just filling the room with these spores, you seemed unaffected. You have your eyes open and your sight is blurred a little bit as you just see this orange, almost like mist of spores just cover the entirety of the entire cafe. Leroy, as he's just holding there, you're pinching his nose, covering mouth, he looks at you and he's like, and looking around, he kind of reaches for his bow almost instinctively, and you can just see the spores all around the room just keep on puffing stuff. People are running for the entrance. Some people are collapsed on the ground.
I put a couple gold on the counter, and I pick up Leroy and get the fuck out of there.
Okay. You pick up Leroy and trying to block everything. It's going to take one round to get to the get outside. Roll 3 more Constitution saving throws.
Holy shit! 3 every round? 21, 20, dirty 20, and 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay, you rush outside of Nature's Call. Sometimes people shove you into the side, but you grabbed Leroy and you guys both got outside and burst out into the street. You see outside is almost like this scene of chaos going on. There's people just running out, some people on the ground. Oh, my eyes! Some people be like talking like, what? I can't. There's some people who are outside just looking like, oh, what's going on to everything? And actually, rewind that a little back. You're seeing all this, but you don't hear it. You are deafened.
Okay.
It's almost like everything's just quiet, and you can almost hear the muffles of everything, but it's just everything around you is kind of just It's like kind of like almost in a way shocked. You look, there's still people inside. Some people crawling outside at times. Some soldiers are in the distance running over in that direction. Learor gets up and he's just like, you can see him like speak for a second. He's rubbing his eyes and he's just.
I can't. Are you okay? I can't hear you.
It's just like he's just speaking out. He's just like he's looking around a little bit, rubbing his eyes.
Okay, I grab him and I just like get as far away from the cafe as I can. Like get as
to
far
the opposite side of the street.
As I can.
Okay.
Trying to get out of the range of the spores.
All right, you get across to the opposite side of the street. There's a stall over there where it did seem like there's some lady who's selling some fruit. A nice half-elven woman, and she kind of like grabs you over in this direction. Come here, and puts Learor down on the side with you. Excuse me, with you. About a minute goes by, and then suddenly your hearing starts coming back a little bit, and Leor's just like, I can, Andy, are you okay? And he sees you just like, what? It's like, what just? And he looks back over, and you see the front of Nature's Call. There seems to be just a cloud of these spores just coming out. You can see the spores that are in the trees in the front still just. And at this time, you can see guards come over, and they all look into the area and kind of like hold up their arms over their mouth. They don't go in yet.
I set Leoror down. Are there people still inside?
Mm-hmm. You from inside, you can still see people every once in a while running outside. Some of them still tripping, looking like they have the same afflictions that Leoror seemed to have. It seems almost like some of them are running out almost in fear, like something's just inside there, just that they don't want to be around.
Okay, I'm gonna take some like cloth and plug my ears and plug my nose.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, we've gotta help them.
Okay.
Yeah, I head back in to try to pull people out.
Okay, you rush inside the building just as soldiers are as well. Some of those Nielchikir soldiers, you can hear some people be like, get back to some other people, but you rush right through the door. As they do, you can see a bunch of the paladins kind of like holding their hands against themselves, and their hands almost go purple for a second. And they run in after you. You can see in this...
I'll use my feline agility to be as fast as possible to get people in and out.
Okay. As you get in there, you can see everything is still filled with the spores. There are a few what look like gnomes over in one corner that kind of are just like huddled. They can't see. They're kind of like holding down like this and just shaking. You are still in with your eyes open though. So one Constitution saving throw you need to roll.
Okay. That's a 17.
17. Okay, you're unaffected. Your eyes itch and it almost like starts burning a little bit, but you're able to hold off and get in there. You get to these two gnomes and you do grab them in both of your arms. With feline agility, it gets out just in time as the paladins are rushing in. You hear them as they're rushing towards the door, trying to get people out. You can see as you're running by them, they slash their swords against some of the spores and some of them explode, adding more of the spores to the area, but slowly wilt and fall to the ground. And you get outside across the street with the gnomes. They're down and they're kind of just shaking. And Leoror at this time is getting up. He's just like, we need to try to get rid of these spores. He's like, I can... Puts his bow away, takes a dagger. He's like, I can help.
Me too. Let's do it.
He takes some cloth and does the same thing as you. Kind of plugs his nose and his ears, and he runs inside your... You don't have feline agility again, but you guys both rush in.
Yeah, I'll head back in.
All right. One more Constitution saving throw.
You got it. Natural 20.
So did Leoror. So you get inside. Aww. So you get inside.
Yeah.
And you can see there do seem to be... It seems like that same goblin that was at the table before is kind of underneath the stool of the bar. Kind of just... He still has his his drink, and he's kind of just protecting it, and he's kind of just holding there underneath the bar. Leoror, as you see that, Leoror looks around and he sees an actual one of the spores, and he's gonna actually make an attack at one, and just he slashes through that spore. It bursts. That one doesn't seem to explode into a burst of anything afterwards. He takes his offhand and attacks another one afterwards, and that one definitely hits as well. I don't even need to roll damage. These things have very low HP.
I'll start punching.
But then there are from the times you've been here, you've noticed that there do appear to be 3 types of different spores. There's one that almost seems like it has a bell shape over the top of it. One that almost seems like the top of a tower, like the rounded top of the tower, and then with a flat top, almost in the shape of a shield. Which one do you attack?
I attack the tower.
Okay, roll to hit. You're probably gonna hit, but you know.
Let me get my actions up. +8. Wow, 13.
13. Okay, so that does hit. You don't need to roll damage unless you want to. Its HP is super fucking low.
I mean here. Yeah,
but
7 points of damage. I assume that probably kills it.
And as you do hit, as you do punch it, it bursts and the spores into your face. It doesn't seem to be affecting anything that you haven't blocked right there.
Cool.
But when Leoror does attack that one shroom over there, that does fail, and he takes.
Which type is he attacking?
He seems to be attacking the one that seems like it has almost a bell shape at the top, and as he does slice through it, it seems like almost like acid, like some purplish acid secreted out of it and got in his skin. He's just like. And he opens his mouth for a second, and that's gonna let me pause that right there.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to punch the flat one.
To punch the flat one? Okay. Roll an attack roll.
Oh, whew, that's a 27 to hit. I think that'll probably hit the mushroom.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Let's see. Yeah, that's 9 points of damage.
And which one did you hit?
The flat.
The flat one. Okay. That one is all right. So as you do punch that one, nothing bursts out of it, but it kind of almost like folds in on itself afterwards. After Leoror attacked that last one, and it burst in his face, he just. You see him just kind of run out in terror outside of the cafe afterwards. You grab that goblin, just sipping his drink, and as you pull him, he spills. He's like, and he gets. You pull him outside of nature's call.
Yeah.
Leoror seemed to have run across the street one more time. He seems to be at the stall, kind of breathing in, trying to resolve himself. What do you do?
I put like a hand on his shoulder. I'm like, are you all right?
The goblin gets up and starts running through the streets in like frantic fear, and he's just like, I don't know. Everything's spinning, and he seems freaked out for a second. Okay. He sits down on the ground and he holds his hand to his head. Another minute goes by, and afterwards he kind of I feel like I had vertigo there for a second. I didn't. He seems a little bit shaken. You look back at this time, you can see the spores itself seem almost like it's slowly fading a little bit. There's still some coming out, and you can hear the slashes of all the spores inside, shouts from a lot of the guards inside as well. Some of them even rush out at times and need to resolve themselves for a little bit as well. Is there anything else you'd like to do, or you just stay right here with Leoror?
I'm gonna stay with him, and I'm gonna try to help him take deep breaths to calm himself down.
I think I'm better now. He coughs a few times. He's like, what was all of that?
Mushrooms of, I think.
I thought they were weird, but I mean, there was some weird soldiers, and it seemed like some sort of people that were with them earlier today, they were looking at them as I came in here, but they didn't seem like they said there's nothing to worry about. And he looks over at the guards. He's like, I think there's something to worry about. He shouts over to all of them. He's like,
maybe they just didn't know. I didn't know that they were gonna do that either.
You can see the Learor kind of just takes his breath. And he's just like, I think the soldiers have it handled. You can see a few of them rush out with some more people, and they shout, "These are the last ones! Get rid of the Shrooms!" And they rush back in. And he takes a breather and he sits down. He's just like, he looks up at you. He's just like, well, this is not how I was intending this lunch to go.
Yeah,
you can see.
You can say that again.
You can see at this time too.
Yeah, look at his arm. Does it look okay?
You look down at his arm, and the hairs that on his arm seem to have burnt off. So there's like a patch where there isn't, and it doesn't seem like it's burning anymore. But there definitely is some acidic burns in his skin, and you touch it a little bit. And he's like, yeah. I mean, it's fine. I've had worse. He takes a breather, and a few moments go by as you guys watch the scene that's going on, and slowly the spores, the actual spores, seem to almost subside to a point where it's almost just low mists floating on the ground a little bit. After time goes by, you do see a different type of Nielchikir soldier, or at least you think at a time, walk up. It's one that seems similar to you. You had seen this man walk into Armamos's armaments a few days ago.
Yeah.
The same soldier who seemed... I'm going to let you look. Do you have any of your notes?
Second, I do remember this happening. Although back then I wasn't taking much note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I wrote any of him down because I wasn't taking many notes back then. I'm taking a lot more detailed notes now.
Okay. And you see, as he kind of gets into the area, and with him there seem to be people who don't seem to be soldiers around. They kind of have little, almost books or notepads with him. And as the last soldiers come outside, and they're like, I think it's good. Just seal it off for a little bit. You can see this guy, he like snaps his fingers, points. He's just like, seal this entrance. We need to close off this area for a little bit. And these people who were with him with the notepads or the books do nod and get in front of him. You can see them all holding the book in one hand, and they start waving their hands in different patterns, casting some sort of arcane sigils. And as they're doing so, you can see these, almost out of thin air, these purple-esque runes just like appear out of thin air and just line the door. And they kind of move and lock and twist around each other, almost like threads, kind of creating almost like a barrier in front of the area. And this time, Learor kind of stands up a little bit. He starts walking over to that soldier man.
I'm gonna just like grab his hand and be like, what?
He's like, getting some answers like that. That's not right. They said it was fine. And he's trying to break out of your arm a little bit.
I think they just didn't know.
There's only one way to find out, and he kind of like pulls his arm out of you unless you try to hold it in.
I'll let him go, I guess. Ugh.
Okay. Do you follow with him, or do you stay and just watch?
Think to myself, oh my god, Rain's gonna kill me, oh my god, Rain's gonna kill me, and then I walk after him.
And Learor comes up to this man, and he's just like, what was, you were here earlier, and you said this was safe. And he turns over to him, and he's just like, calm down. This is an ongoing investigation of mine. I've been trying to figure it out myself. We don't know quite what it is. And he sees you walk over, and he's just like, and we don't quite know what it is. Seems like there's been some weird plants and fungus growing throughout this area. We're We're still figuring out what it is. It didn't show any sign of harm until this moment. He's just like, yeah, but, I mean, shouldn't you have done... And he's just like, please, we're doing it now. Are you hurt? Do you need any assistance? Did you breathe it in? He's like, fucking yeah, I breathed it in. I was in there when everything went off. He seemed... You haven't seen him kind of like worked up a little bit before. It seems like it's actually weird, a little bit off-putting to see him like this. He's like, and the soldier man comes in, he's like, everything will be taken care of. If there's any sort of compensation you need for any injuries, you can just let us know. Over in Dysurius' cure, we're heavily researching this right now. He's like, now the best way you can all help us is by getting away from here and managing yourselves. See if there's anything weird that you do notice about yourself over the next couple of days. We don't know what this could do. If there is anything that is odd, just let us know in Dysurius' cure. We're trying to research, see exactly what this is, so we can get to the root of all of this. And he looks over at you, and he's just like, were you affected by this as well?
I didn't breathe it in, but it did make me lose my hearing for a little bit.
And then
not for very long.
And then Leoror's just like, I couldn't see, and it made me feel like everything was spinning almost. Like there's something around me. It's like paranoia, blindness, and deafness. Okay. All right, good. Thank you. If there's anything else, please share. But if not, please back away. We need to try to... And you can see a lot of the spores are still blowing a little bit out with the mist. And he kind of takes his sword off his back and just quick slices through the air. It blows out of the area for a second. He's just like, please, it's not safe. Just back away. Let us take care of this. We have authorized magic to seal off this as best we can. He's like, quickly, finish it off. We can't let any more of this out into the streets. And Leoror's just like, kind of like moves almost like not like he doesn't hit anybody, but almost like with a really sharp turn to show that like he's a little bit annoyed.
Yeah. I'll keep up with him.
He walks for a little bit, but not too far off. He walks back over to where the main road is and walks down about one ring until you can see the monastery down in one direction. And he just sits at the corner and he's just like, this day just keeps getting weirder. But I think that sobered me up quite a bit. And he looks at you and he's like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay, Andy? I didn't even ask yet.
I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. Do you want to come back to the monastery, calm down a little bit?
I mean, maybe for a little bit. I mean, he's like, that when that spore was making everything spin, I just made me worry about some things. I don't want anything. He's like, I'm still dwelling on fate and last night. Everything's messed up right now, Andy. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize.
Maybe just go over there. Can we sit on the steps for a little bit?
Yeah.
And you walk back over to the monastery. The steps leading up to the windowless structure with the pillars. This time doesn't seem to be too many people walking in and out. This time is when there are some classes going on where there are people inside. There you see some soldiers who do rush by in the direction of where everything's at. And it doesn't seem like there's any smoke cloud or spore cloud coming out, so it seems like for the most part this place everything was contained. Leoror, at the same time, you can see his eagle flies down. He's just like, I knew you were okay. And he puts his arm up. He's just like, you always get out of the jams. It gives up like, I can't do an eagle. I can do owls really well. I can't do eagles. I'll have to work on my eagle. But
birds sure are good at that, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. He's just like, yeah, can always trust this one to get out of help me get out of a pinch.
Maybe I should be a bird next time.
What, you mean when you come back to life again?
Oh yeah.
Well, I like the Andy that you are. I hope you don't die again. But if you do, I mean, if you keep coming back, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think Cousin will let me stay in the ground too long. He likes me too much.
And as you say that, you can just hear a, yes, Andrish, I do like you quite a lot.
Ah,
And
shit.
You turn around and Cousin is just kind of standing there with his hands behind his back. He's just like, I wasn't
You're
expecting
too good at that.
You're getting better at it, my pupil. Is this another one of your friends? And Leoror kind of stands up. He's just like, oh, hi, you must be Cousin? And he looks at you. It's like, hi, I'm Leoror. And he holds up a hand, and Cousin takes one of his hands out. He's just like, always a pleasure to meet more of Andrish's friends. Now, Andrish, I wasn't expecting you for anything today. I knew you had some tasks to do with your other friend. Is there any reason you've come back?
Oh, we were just at the Rainforest Call and there was a mushroom cloud thing. I just wanted to get Leoror away from the noise for a minute.
Okay. Well, if you want to come inside, you know this is always a place for Andrish's friends. He looks down to Leoror. I was wondering what was going on. I kind of felt something off. You said it was over at Rainforest Call?
Yeah.
So, then I'll go investigate a little bit. Do let me know if you hear anything else, Andrish, okay?
Mm-hmm. Also, I did it.
He looks at you and
Pretty good. He's pretty insightful, I'm hoping.
he's just like, well, you can tell me about that later. I'm curious to see what you've done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Leoror kind of just looks back and forth between you for a second. He's just like, hey, and Andy, it's been really fun. This is definitely more wild than I expected it to be. And he's like, I think I need to try to find Phaeton. We got one more net match to he looks at Cousin, and Cousin's like, I know what you all do down there. And he's just like, I've got one more match, and
Tonight.
we kind of need to figure out what we're doing. And he goes, Stride, can you go find, and Stride just gets up and starts flying off. He's just like, I'm happy I got to meet you, Andy, and it's not the end, right? And he looks at Cassie, he's like, you'll let Andy come visit sometime, right? And Cousin just looks down at him, and then just looks down to you, and Andy. What kind of look are you giving him? He's just like, we shall see what the future holds. He's like, well, if this blows over sooner, I'll try to come back and visit her. I mean, he's like, I would write to you, but
I'm working on it. And I take out the book.
Cousin's like, feel free to. Andrish does need to study up on that a little bit.
I'm working on it.
By far his worst subject. He's like, yeah, well, he looks at you and looks down, and he comes over and like hugs your legs.
I'll kneel down to give him a hug.
He's like, well, thank you. I'll try what you said before. Maybe there's some things I can learn about my past to help me see a clearer future.
Let me know how it goes. I'll miss you in the meantime.
I'll miss you too. And he starts walking down the steps, and he's just like, he looks back up at you, and then he walks off into the streets. Carson looks down at you. He's just like, your kindness you spread to everyone, Andrish. I try to let you know all the time, but even that one, I can see, and you can see Learor walking off. See how he's walking away? You can almost see a little sense of joy in it. It's these little things you gotta notice.
You're making me blush.
And you can see he pulls out, he has the flowers on his ear still that you did have, and he's just like, well, keep studying up. Did you exercise yet today?
Not technically. I mean, I did run. I ran. Does running count?
It's the most basic form of exercise.
Okay, I'll do some push-ups or something.
So I'm gonna go see what's on at Rainforest Call, see if I have some curious things I want to look into. Do be good. Don't get into too much trouble.
I'll do my best.
And let me know about what you did later.
Is there anyone around?
You're on the front steps of the monastery. You're
So,
just
yes.
passing by through the streets.
Damn it. Oh,
You can feel
Yeah.
Zolo's sand just moving through, and as he walks by, you feel that he stops for a second and kind of looks at you curiously. He's like, later.
yeah.
You see him walk off into the city, and you are here on the steps of the monastery.
I guess I'll go inside to do some exercise for like half an hour.
All right, you
Just
go.
got scolded.
Mhm. You go to the front, the main training area once more. You can see
Yeah.
there are some masters and students who are having training fights. So you go off to the side, and you do some training exercises for a little bit. You do know at this time, decent amount of time has passed by. You don't know. I'd say probably with the passage of time, you got to Rainforest Call around 12. You were in there with him, Learor, for roughly a half hour or so of time passing by. Everything with the thing, another 10 minutes or 15 minutes go by with that situation. 15 minutes more to get to the monastery, so about 1 there. 10 minutes on the front. It's getting around 1:45, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, roughly. And you know from before you had left, you knew that Rain said they were going to Otto's, and then afterwards they were going to go to Normal's. You don't know exactly what time, but...
Yeah, I'll just do some quick exercise. Speed run exercise.
Okay.
And then I'll try to make... Do I know where Normal's is?
Yes, you guys have been described this in the past. Okay. It's over in Haverwing's Edge. They described it.
How far is it?
They described the section of Haverwing's Edge. There's a southern portion where there's a long, winding road that kind of like goes around into this area, and it was described to be at the end of that one. From your location, if you go at your normal speed, maybe like a half hour, 25 minutes.
Okay. Also, is Lucky still with me?
You look around and you don't see Lucky at all.
Okay. He left at some point. Okay.
You remember, and this is minor detail we didn't say, but Lucky was with you when you got to Rainforest Call, and now that you're thinking about it, you don't remember seeing Lucky after the shrooms.
Ooh, I hope he's okay. That probably did enough damage to poof him, didn't it?
You didn't seem like it was anything was doing
Vicky
damage.
Knowledge.
Didn't seem like any of the spores were doing any damage.
Well, I didn't breathe it in though.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't breathe it in though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I'll head over. I'll do like some lunges on the way.
All right. So that probably brings. That's you can probably do that at your normal. You could do that at your normal pace. And just to set up everything for this Sunday when the rest of the group gets there, how are you going to normals? Are you just going to go down the normal street itself? Are you going to try to get on top of a build? Like, how are you getting to normals?
I think I'll walk pretty normally.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll just head over. Yeah. I just kind of am like walking.
And as you are walking towards normals, not sure when your other party members are going to get there, but hoping everything links up.
I'm just kind of like keeping an eye out to see if I catch them.
Okay. Roll a perception check, and this will go into next session.
That's a natural 2, so that's an 8 total.
So as you are looking around, trying to keep a diligent eye out for your friends, as you're doing lunges over towards where you believe normals is, this is where we could end your super secret, sexy solo session. Yours number 2, but total number 3. But
yeah.
All right. So wasn't a normal date their luncheon. There's some things that did happen. But come on. Come on. It's D&D. It's never gonna be just a normal talk.
Yeah.
And I gotta have these little spicy little nuggets of knowledge in these super secret sexy solo sessions. Otherwise they're not super secret or sexy.
Now Andy's worried about Learor too. He's worried about everybody.
Mm-hmm. And I want to even say this on stream, and we'll obviously talk more, but this Andy has now heard Nox's name.
I have.
Your character knows about your other character.
Yeah, I know that she's a ranger.
Mm-hmm. And you know that she's coming here to tell the queen something.
Yeah, which means honestly, Andy will probably keep an ear out to see.
Oh my god, this is reins in to
just honestly speaking, he'll probably try to keep an ear out to see if he can meet Nock to be like, hey, is Learor okay? Did you meet him on the way? Like, how's he doing?
We'll have to have a super secret sexy session 4 with you, with me, you, and you. All right, well, thank you all for coming to this special session. Those of you who did come around, these are all little special episodes, so it's a little extra nuggets info for people who are really dedicated, who want to understand what's going on around in the world outside the campaign that we're currently running. Thank you for coming. Please, like I said in the beginning, please, if you can, just give us a follow on Twitch. We're trying to get to Twitch affiliates soon, hopefully. And then subscribe on YouTube, where most of you probably will be watching this. Please do it. Hit that button. Let us know how it is in the comments. I haven't seen a single comment on our videos before. I do want to see what everybody thinks. So if you do watch, let us know how everything's going. You'll be our first comment. Who doesn't want to be a first comment? Come on, guys. But anyways, thank you so much. We will be having a podcast tomorrow, Colin and I, and if anybody wants to come around, Vicky, you're always welcome. But otherwise,
keep it in mind.
Yeah. But otherwise, we will see you all on Sunday. We're streaming our normal time at 4 o'clock the first
Our
stream.
normal time.
Yeah, God, going back to the normal streaming times, it's all working
No,
out.
that was another normal joke, Brian.
All the normal
okay.
times.
At the normal time.
Well, thank you guys for coming. We will see you all for the next disaster. Good night. End card.